Hey guys, I'm Jack, that's Ryan, we're a new day. Today, we're going to be talking about what you should be watching on Netflix.
Alright guys, so here's how it's going to work. We're going to give you 10 recommendations for what you should watch on Netflix, 4 of those being TV shows that you can binge watch, 4 of those being must-see movies, and 2 documentaries because Netflix does indeed have a documentary section.
So the first show we have for you is, well, it's The Office. I mean, of course, it's probably my favorite show. I know Ryan loves the show. You have Steve Carell running around being a huge goofball. I would love to have him as a boss. I think in the show he's kind of
he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious. I don't know if everyone loves him, but I know I love watching him on screen. It's a great show. I'm sure you've seen some things, some memes of him on Twitter and stuff. It's a very quotable show. If you haven't seen it, you're definitely missing out on some great jokes. So. Give it a try if you have not already seen The Office. It's hilarious.
The next show I want you guys to check out is a show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This show consists of 5 friends, those being Mac, Dennis, Charlie, Frank, and Sweet D. And they basically own a bar in Philadelphia called Patty's Pub. And, they just get in these crazy situations from, pretending to be cops, dressing up, going around, to, breaking into a family's home to do like a extreme home makeover that just goes extremely wrong. It's hilarious, guys. You'll love it. The characters are really quirky. It's a really unique perspective. So if you really like in-your-face humor, just give it a watch.
The next show we have for you guys is a super fun show called That 70s Show. It's hilarious. The main character's name is Eric, who's a pretty normal high school guy. With the catch, he's living and growing up in the 70s, so that kind of adds a fun, interesting perspective for the show. His dad's super strict. So that's kind of a fun dynamic, but really, who I would consider the star of the show has got to be Ashton Kutcher's character, Miko, or Kelso is his nickname, and he just basically the show centers around him just running around being a huge goofball dork, just walking around. His hair's just like flopping around, comes into the scene and says something ridiculous. So if you love some goofy Ashton Kutcher, which I'm sure you will if you've never seen it before, you gotta watch it. And the good thing about this show is you really don't have to start from the beginning. You can just pop it on right in the middle, pick a random episode, and just love every minute of it. So if you've not watched the show before, check it out.
That show is American Dad, which was created by Seth MacFarlane, who also created Family Guy and The Cleveland Show, as you probably know. And it's about this patriotic family led by Stan Smith, who's the father, and he's just a very conservative. He works for the CIA. And, it's kind of ironic that his family is so dysfunctional and, weird. His daughter, Haley, is kind of a stoner, and she's just really, a bad kid to say. And then Steve is just a complete nerdy, wimp. And then his wife is, crazy at some points. You learn some stuff in her story that's kind of funny.
Don't forget about the alien.
Yeah, and Roger, who lives in the attic. He really makes the show for me. He does some things that are just hilarious. He has different characters, which keeps the show so entertaining. You guys will love it. It's hilarious. If you like animated shows, then you might like this one.
One thing that everyone hates is when you're all gathered around talking about movies and someone says to you, "Oh, you haven't seen that?" For sure. Well, this is why we have the must-see movie section for you guys. The first movie we have for you is Pulp Fiction. It might be Quentin Tarantino's best work. You have Samuel L. Jackson's perhaps most badass role. We don't know because there's just so many of them, though. There's no way of knowing.
He's a badass dude.
And he's a badass dude, that's right. We also have a very interesting role with John Travolta that might kind of change your thought about him. And also we have a really cool plot because it's all shown to you out of order. All the events come to you out of order. The plot itself is really sick. There's a lot of cool things that take place. It's a crime movie. I really can't even explain it to you because there's just so much that happens. So you really have to go see it for yourself. Give it a look right after this video.
And the next movie we have for you is a movie called Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It stars Steve Martin, who plays Neil Page, a kind of a high-strung marketing executive who's in New York for the weekend. He gets stuck in New York due to a blizzard, and he's trying to get home to his family for Thanksgiving, and he meets up with this guy named Del Griffith, who is played by John Candy. Rest in peace. So Steve Martin's character meets up with John Candy's character, and they kind of embark on like a 3-day journey across the country trying to get back to Chicago. Really ridiculous things happen. It's so funny, the contrast between the two. We have a high-strung character, and then John Candy's just, an optimistic, carefree guy. So check it out. It's hilarious. You guys will love it, and yeah.
The first 2 movies that we offered to you are kind of the classics. They're not exactly very recent.
Yeah.
Well, now we have a pretty recent movie for you by the name of Nightcrawler. It's starring Jake Gyllenhaal, off the bat, I'm gonna just say you probably shouldn't watch this with your mom,
Right.
or your grandma,
Yeah.
or your sister,
True.
your second cousin,
Mm-hmm.
your third cousin,
Yeah.
teacher from elementary school,
Okay.
great aunt on either side,
Wow.
babysitter, your dog. Jake Gyllenhaal's playing kind of a weird guy.
A loner guy.
Yeah, he's pretty much, he's a complete loner. And he buys a camcorder and he starts driving around at night, thus Nightcrawler. And basically what he does is whenever he sees, like, let's say he sees like a horrendous accident on the highway, he will pull over and hop out with that camera and go and film all the grisly details, and he'll sell it to a news station.
Yeah.
Which you can see how that can become very dark, because he
Yeah.
really has no boundaries as to what he will record.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I think there's one point where he even gets there and the crime's still going on. You know what I mean? And he's filming. It's a creepy movie. It's very uncomfortable. You should definitely watch it though, because it's very well shot. Jake Gyllenhaal nails it. So, if you've not already seen it, it's kind of a low-budget movie, so you might not have even heard it or seen it in theaters either. You should definitely check it out.
And the last movie we have for you guys to watch is Human Centipede 3. Just kidding, it's a movie called Oldboy. It stars Josh Brolin, and he plays this alcoholic father who's just kind of a mess of a man. He misses his daughter's 3rd birthday party. His ex-wife is just calling him so irate, and basically he just gets stupid drunk, starts wandering the streets, tries to buy this little thing in Chinatown, gets kidnapped, wakes up in a room, and he is just, how's he gonna get out of this one? You guys gotta watch it, find out. It's really actiony, really kind of violent. It's fun. You definitely will be entertained throughout. So yeah, well, next time you're on Netflix, maybe check it out.
So the final section we have for you guys is... Wait, Netflix has a documentary section?
I've never made it past Gossip Girl. I'm not quite sure. Just kidding, guys. Netflix actually does have a documentary section. You may be surprised, but it does. The first documentary we have for you is a documentary called Hot Girls Wanted. It revolves around the porn industry. Don't get too excited, you pervs out there. But anyways, it's about these girls. It talks about all their stories and how they're kind of traumatized by what they have to go through on a daily basis. Even though there is one monumental douchebag in this documentary that you're really just not going to enjoy. But it's interesting. You might learn something before you go online again. Think about it. And, you'll like it. So watch it.
So we all have that braggy know-it-all friend that we all get kind of sick of sometimes at our lunch table.
Sure.
And if you want to one-up them at some point, the Netflix documentary section might have some value for you. Like, here's an example. Maybe one day your know-it-all friend says, you know what, I'm really excited to take a trip down to SeaWorld and see all the very happy, long-living, fulfilled life whales down there. And if you check out a small little documentary called Blackfish, you could say, well, guess what? You're actually a dumbass, because those whales are living tortured lives.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you can really shove it in their face. And you'll learn a lot from Blackfish. I think the secret's out on SeaWorld. I think we're all pretty aware. I think we've all heard of some of the trainers being devoured alive. Anyways, there's a lot of social opportunity within that documentary, and there's a lot of interesting information too. So if you haven't seen Blackfish, give it a look. I'm just trying not to say so. Okay, here we go. So. Wow.
Short-lived, dude. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you liked what you saw, again, go ahead and like the video down below. Comment to us, what do you want us to check out on Netflix, or what's some of your favorites? We're not seasoned vets. We're always open for new suggestions. We always like watching new things. So yeah, and if you really liked, don't forget to subscribe. We would love to give you new stuff. And yeah, Jack, what do you have to say?
Well, we'd love to see you again, and I hope you'd love to see us again. Definitely subscribe if you feel like it. And if you really hated this video, give us another chance. Subscribe anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. See you later, guys.